In life, we often set conditions for our own happiness. We tell ourselves, I will be happy when I get that promotion. Or, I will be peaceful when this problem is finally solved. Or, I will smile only when the weather is sunny. We constantly wait for everything around us to be perfect before we allow ourselves to feel good. But life is rarely perfect. It is full of unexpected storms, difficult people, and challenging situations. If we keep waiting for the perfect moment to be happy, we might wait forever. What if happiness isn't about changing our situations, but changing how we look at them? Today's story is about a young man who thought the world was against him, and the simple lesson that changed his life forever. Let's see what this story teaches us. Once upon a time, there was a young man named Arian. Arian was a good person, but he had a big problem. His happiness was like a feather in the wind. It depended entirely on what was happening around him. If his coffee was too cold in the morning, his whole day was ruined. If he got stuck in traffic, he would remain angry for hours. If someone criticized his work, he felt worthless. He believed that the universe conspired to make him unhappy. He constantly complained, "Why does this happen only to me? If only I had more money, or a better house, or fewer problems, then I could be happy." One day, overwhelmed by frustration, he decided to visit a wise old woman named Master Alara. She lived on the outskirts of the city, tending to a legendary, massive garden. People said she knew the secret to unshakable peace. Arian arrived at the garden. It was beautiful, but parts of it were wild and untamed. He found Master Alara on her knees, digging in the soil with her bare hands. She looked serene, humming a soft tune despite the dirt on her face. Arian approached her impatiently. "Master Alara," he said, his voice full of agitation, "I have come to ask you how to be happy. My life is full of thorns. Every day brings a new problem. How can anyone possibly be happy when their situation is bad?" Master Alara stood up slowly, dusting off her hands. She smiled dimly at Arian. "I understand your pain, Arian. Happiness seems impossible when life is hard. Before I answer your question, I need you to do a small task for me." She pointed towards the far end of the estate, where the garden seemed neglected and dark. "Do you see that old, broken stone wall at the very end?" she asked. "Behind that wall is a messy patch of land. I want you to go there, find the single most beautiful flower in that area, and bring it to me. But there is one condition: while going there, you must not focus on the dirt." Arian thought this was a strange request, but he agreed, hoping it would lead to the answer he sought. He started walking. The main part of the garden was lovely, but as he approached the broken wall, the path disappeared. His shoes sank into thick, wet mud. Thorny bushes snagged his clothes. There was a pile of decaying leaves that smelled terrible, and mosquitoes buzzed around his head. Arian's temper began to rise. "Why did she send me here?" he muttered angrily. "This place is disgusting. It's messy, it smells, and it's ruining my shoes. How can a beautiful flower grow in such an ugly situation?" He was about to turn back, convinced that the old woman was just wasting his time. He was completely focused on the mud and the thorns, feeling miserable. Just as he turned to leave, a flash of bright white caught his eye. He stopped. There, growing right out of a large crack in the dirty, broken stone wall, surrounded by weeds and mud, was a magnificent white lily. It was the most beautiful flower Arian had ever seen. Its petals were pure and spotless, completely unaffected by the dirt around it. It stood tall, proud, and emitted a sweet fragrance that overpowered the smell of the decaying leaves. Arian was mesmerized. He carefully plucked the lily and made his way back to Master Alara, forgetting about the mud on his shoes. He presented the flower to her. "I found it, Master. It was incredible. It was growing in the worst, dirtiest part of the garden." Master Alara gently took the flower and looked deep into Arian's eyes. "Tell me, Arian," she asked softly, "did this lily wait for the mud to dry up before it bloomed? Did it wait for the broken wall to be repaired before it showed its beauty? Did it complain that its situation was not perfect? Arion was stunned. He shook his head slowly. No, master. It bloomed beautifully despite the mess around it. Master Alara smiled. That is the secret, my boy. You are like this lily. Your life, with all its problems, difficult people, and bad days, is like that messy, muddy corner of the garden. The mud and the thorns will always be there in some form. Situations will never be 100% perfect. If you wait for the situation to become clean before you choose to be happy, you will never bloom. But, if this simple flower can choose to rise above its surroundings, and share its beauty right in the middle of the dirt, why can't you choose to be happy right in the middle of your problems? Arion finally understood. Happiness was not about the absence of mud, it was about the decision to bloom anyway. Like Arion, we often let the difficult situations of life dictate our inner peace. We forget that our internal state does not have to match our external circumstances. True happiness is not pretending that everything is perfect. True happiness is the inner strength to remain calm and hopeful, even when things are difficult. Don't wait for the storm to pass. Learn to dance in the rain. Don't wait for the perfect situation. Choose to bloom where you are planted today.